The fact that you are acknowledging that you have unhealthy patterns, that there is a pattern going on that you are not aligned with anymore, is already such a huge deal. You have no idea. You're already halfway there, okay? Now, the work is to see what you prefer instead. See what you want instead. I've taught this concept in my most recent 30-day Sparkle Transformation Challenge, and here it is. It's when you make a new commitment, what's going to show up is all the things that don't align with that commitment. For instance, let's say we are overweight, and for some reason, all these years you have been putting off this dream of running a marathon. And this year is the year that you decided you're going to make that happen, right? Because your heart pulls you to it. What's happening when you make that commitment to run a marathon, the next day you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like, why? Why did I do that? All of these thoughts that come in, right? That is what I call non-agreement. How you are living now is not in agreement to the commitment that you just made, right? That promise that you just made to yourself. What do we do with all this non-agreement? We flip it upside its head. That's what we do. And how we do this, you start jotting down all of the non-agreement that shows up. Another thing, let's take this concept of your inner roommate. I got this from the book, The Untethered Truth. The Untethered Truth by Michael A. Singer. Phenomenal book. There's a reason why everybody talks about it. It's one of people's life-changing books, is because all of the concepts that he presents in that book is completely life-changing. And one of the concepts he introduces is called your inner roommate. So this helps a lot, right? So once you make that commitment and you hear this voice, you hear all of these things, these non-agreements that say, you can't do it. What about this? What about that? Blah, 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 blah. Like, this isn't going to work. Blah, blah, blah. Take that as your inner roommate. Let's say you have a roommate that shares your headspace with you, and she always has something to say about every single thing that you do. And the reason why this is so helpful is because when you personalize this voice that is not you, and you put her as if she's sitting on the couch next to you, then whatever she says, you can actually choose to subscribe to that or choose not to subscribe to that. You can choose to be aligned with that and agree with her, or you can choose to disagree with her, but she still lives in your head, right? She still lives with you, and you guys make it work somehow. So this is your inner roommate. Give her a name. Give your inner roommate a name. One of my clients named hers Beaver because she's annoying, right? She's always like badgering at her. So she calls her a beaver. I named my inner roommate Serenity because she's nothing but serene. She's always causing chaos in my head. There's always something going on with her. She's always nagging about something, being a brat about something. So I call her Serenity because she's nothing but serene. Some people call their inner roommate something else, like an animal, like I mentioned before. And when you give that a name, your inner roommate a name, and you personalize it, then it's easier for you to just like put it aside when she shows up. Okay, knowing that that's not you, knowing that that's old programming, that is knowing that our thoughts, like 80% of our thoughts, are recycled thoughts from the past, something that's not new. So when we're actually actively creating something new for our lives, actively changing and transforming something new in our lives, it will take a little bit more effort than the default automatic of all these thoughts popping up that's recycled from yesterday, the last week, last month, years before, right? Going back to our commitment that we made, the next day seeing all of the non-agreement with that, acknowledging that non-agreement is our inner roommate just sharing all the things that she's scared of or that she's judging about this commitment that you have. But regardless, you choose this commitment for yourself because you, inside your heart, know that this is the path that you want to take on. There's some excitement, there's some nervousness, there's some, but this path is going to help you grow into the version of you that you want. With that non-agreement, what you do is you set some time aside. You write down on the page, because once you write down and journal out things on the page, it comes out of your brain into physical reality to be left there. It's not taking up space in your head anymore. There's not any more clutter. You will gain a lot of clarity from journaling. So, and take it that when you resist journaling, that's a signal for you to really show up and journal. Any resistance, and I just taught this to my daughter the other day. She just went back from winter break and she had so much resistance of going to school because she was afraid of what her friend group might be hanging out with each other and having her feel ostracized or having her feel isolated, and like because she wasn't a part of the group chat, right? Then the next day she comes on and I just told her, I was like, this resistance could just be the energy of the magnitude that is going to show up good, right? Sometimes when we feel nervous, we feel it in our bodies because our bodies can already acknowledge the energy that's going to be received, right? In a good way. Why I always think that something bad is going to happen is because our brains has equipped it for us to survive, and we are we are trained to think that the worst will happen so that we are prepared for it. If we're not prepared for it, then our livelihood is at stake. And so knowing that that's just a natural thing our primal brain does, we can then see and choose that this nervous energy, that this resistance is just a reflection of the magnitude of change that's about to happen in the best way. Okay? So, going back again, our commitment, the non-agreement is our roommate. Writing down everything that our roommate has to say about that commitment and then switching it, flipping it on its head, right? When we flip it, that means if you have a thought or a fear or a doubt that says this, you need to ask yourself, what do I prefer instead? And you write that right underneath it, and then you cross off the old belief. Then you have a new personalized affirmation. Personalized affirmations work so much better because you brought yourself from this emotion to this new emotion, what you prefer instead. This is called the emotional scale. You brought yourself there. You're not going online finding, I am confident, I am powerful, I am blah, 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 just out of the blue. That's why those affirmations don't work. That's why affirmations don't work for a lot of people, because they don't take the time to personalize their affirmations. You feel? So you get this emotion, you take yourself from this emotion, from this fear, doubt, insecurity, and you sit with it in a foreign space. It feels foreign because how do you know what you want? How can you imagine and visualize yourself better when you haven't even been there before? And this is where the magic happens, right? You get to use your imagination. So you choose what you prefer instead, and you write that down. Then you have your personal affirmation. After that personal affirmation, you sit with it for days, like diligently every day. You meet yourself in those personal affirmations, and then you'll start to see your life change because you're reprogramming your subconscious beliefs and thoughts. And all of a sudden, all those non-agreements, you're making changes and flipping them. And actually, in physical reality, you'll start to show up as agreement. All of these personal affirmations that you chose are in agreement to your commitment. Therefore, you will manifest and actualize everything that you desire. It sounds like a lot of work. And don't you think that you're worthy to have this work done? Because think about the cost of it not working out. You'll just end wherever you have been living anyway. So why not give yourself that effort? Why not believe that you are worthy and deserving of everything that your heart desires? Okay, so I hope this video has found you healthy, well, wealthy, willing to make these changes, willing to play in this realm, willing to feel sexy AF. Okay, I hope this gives you value. Again, my name is Jacqueline. I am your radiance and presence coach. You love all of my teachings because they work for you. They work for you instantly, and they give you relief and empowerment instantly. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next video.